Okay, back at it. So, the clock's hands were painted on. So what? It doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Cataline as absent close to the time of the murder. That's significant. Don't be dense, Monsieur Ravington. If the photograph is not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence. Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events. Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were too. It is possible that Dame Cataline was painted out. Even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for. So what are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Senor Pertin de Mao, perhaps? I don't think so. The housemaid lacks a means or motive, and it wouldn't make sense for Senor Pertor to implicate his own daughter. Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron Rorgai deliberately tried to flame Dame Cataline? Because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing. Monsieur Remington, I'm not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, the prosecutor. However,
mayhaps I should offer my opinion.
Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet.
So you would think, prosecutor, and yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence.
Incompetence?
Indeed. Let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge?
Yes, I suppose that's fine.
Very good. And I trust that the defense has no objections.
No, no objections here.
Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Now, prosecutor, ask me about what I've witnessed over the course of the evening.
Okay, Baron Rorgai, on the, night of the,
The initial dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Grenoir left to visit the garden. Dame Cataline followed behind him moments later. Senor Petois, Monsieur Rabino, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid her no mind. After the photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Grenoir and Dame Cataline. That would be when I heard her cry for help.
Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there. I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Do you doubt my integrity, Garcion?
I'm just here to uncover the truth, Baron.
Very well, then. Hit me with your best shot. Let us establish with absolute certainty that I, Baron Rorgai, am an honest man.
The defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Baron Rorgai, I would like to ask about the dinner you served that evening.
Very well. Ask away.
Now, about this red herring.
Yes? What about it?
I'm not sure, but I feel it is of vital importance to the case. Falcon, I just want to, clarify this. Are you saying that you wish to preserve this red herring? Yes, I wish to closely examine and question the piece of evidence that is overtly labeled as a red herring. That is the type of bird that I am. I see a trail that clearly veers away from my goal, but I follow it anyway. Perhaps the path leads to better things. Perhaps it leads to failure. What matters is that my curiosity is satisfied. You're a strange bird, Falcon.
The jury are confused by your rambling, but they appreciate your honesty. You don't gain or lose any favor with them.
Can we please return to the case at hand? Never mind. Baron Rorgai, I have some questions about Monsieur Grenoir.
God rest his soul.
What was your relation to Monsieur Grenoir prior to his demise?
We were business partners. Monsieur Grenoir, Senor Pourtant de Mao, and myself all owned a third share in up-and-coming railway company.
Excuse the crassness of this question, but does that mean that you and Senor Perton would now own half of the company each, correct?
Correct. I suppose that is a slight glimmer of benefit that arose from this foul situation. But monsieur, you must understand that Monsieur Grenoir and I were friends as much as we were business associates. I mourn the man's passing.
Of course. Why did Monsieur Grenoir leave to visit the garden?
I believe he wanted some fresh air. The steak did not sit well with him, I fear.
Oh, I see. But that is quite coincidental timing, isn't it?
Oh, so?
Well, Monsieur Grenoir felt sick and left the room just after the photographer arrived and just before the murder occurred. One might draw a link between the food and the sickness. Hold on, Falcon. You weren't suggesting that Monsieur Grenoir's food was poisoned in some way? No, there's nothing to indicate poisoning. I just found the timing somewhat puzzling.
There is nothing puzzling about it. Monsieur Grenoir always had a soft stomach. It's really no surprise that he couldn't keep down a good rare steak.
Okay, I might as well ask about the silverware. Earlier today, we established that the silverware was stolen from your residence prior to the banquet.
Indeed. I am aware of whom the culprit is, but have decided not to press charges.
It is curious, then, that you decided to serve steak. It isn't what one would describe as finger food, after all. I don't know about that, Falcon. With the right attitude, all food can be finger food.
There's nothing curious about it. Senor Perton and Dame Cataline are vocal lovers of rare steak. I was merely suiting their needs.
Besides, what, other choice did the Baron have, Falcon? Serve vegetable broth like a, common peasant?
Do be quiet, prosecutor. You sound ridiculous.
Sorry, Baron. Baron Rogai, I have a couple of questions about your housemaid, Corlaine Duhat. Does your housemaid smoke cigars? Well, that question came out of the, left field.
Definitely not. Mademoiselle Duhat detests the smell of tobacco.
I see. Putting together a bigger picture, are we?
I think so. The pieces are slowly falling into place.
Your housemaid is a thief. She has stolen numerous valuables from your household, including all of the silverware. I object! That's not a question! Oh, right. Let me rephrase that. Baron, why did you not immediately report to the police when you discovered that your housemaid was stealing from you?
Is a man obligated to report every act of theft that they witness?
Well, not legally, I suppose.
I choose not to incriminate the poor girl because I felt it would be needlessly harsh. I know letting a criminal run loose is a foreign concept to many of you lawyer types, but I'm sure you understand the concept of mercy.
Baron, we saw the murder scene, your garden, for ourselves. If I may ask, what's with all the horses?
I beg your pardon?
There are all these horse and cherub statues in your garden. To be frank, we found the whole thing a little weird. Could the defense please stop horsing around? This can't possibly have any relevance to the case. Nay, it doesn't. But hey, you can't blame a man for trying. Not bad. Not bad at all. Baron Norgai, when was the last time you ventured into your own garden?
As it happens, I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been in my own garden for years.
Years, you say?
Indeed.
Baron, I do not wish to call you a liar, but that claim does not hold up to scrutiny.
Oh? And why is that?
Because we have hard evidence that you have visited the garden recently.
Balderdash! My word is gold. Show the court this so-called hard evidence that I've been in my garden.
This was found in your garden. To be specific, he was found inside the fountain basin, right beside where the murder occurred. A cigar butt? That could belong to, anybody, and...
Prosecutor, please shut your mouth. I can speak for myself.
Okay. Sorry, Baron.
That is indeed the remnants of one of my cigars. But I must apologize, Monsieur Falcon, for I misunderstood your initial question. You see, prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my own garden in years. But naturally, after hearing the housemaid's cry for help on the evening of the murder, I rushed outside. I was shocked and disgusted by what I saw. That must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar in the fountain basin.
You see, Falcon, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation. I would find that believable if the cigar were casually discarded. But as it happened, the cigar butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that can only be accessed with great inconvenience. And a little paddling. The cigar butt was not dropped. It was deliberately hidden.
There are any number of possible explanations.
Are there? Because I can only think of one. That you, Baron Warguy, deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities.
Did I now? And what illicit activities would those be?
You want me to spell it out? Fine. Let's put everything on the table. You, Baron Warguy, murdered Monsieur Grenoir. That is what you were trying to keep hidden.
Directly accusing me of murder? How shamelessly brazen!
That is a ludicrous accusation, Falcon. The Baron is an upstanding citizen of the highest order. Your allegation is baseless. You have no evidence. No, means, motive, or opportunity. No evidence? Think harder, Monsieur Remington. Every piece of evidence points to Baron Warguy as the prime suspect. You want the means? The Baron certainly had the means. His lion's claws are as sharp as a surgeon's blade. Cutting a frog belly would be trivial to him. Even Monsieur Robino confessed just moments ago that he feared his claws.
Ridiculous! I would never threaten a man with violence.
You want a motive? The Baron had at least 10,000 francs worth of motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's share of his railway company increased from 1/3 to 1/2.
This is preposterous.
And finally, the Baron had an opportunity. No, he crafted the perfect opportunity. He arranged a small banquet with a very select number of guests. He was aware of the missing silverware, and yet he served steak, a food item that necessitates good cutlery. Why? To bloody the hands of his guests, of course. Then, he hired an easily influenced photographer and staged a very specific picture in order to build a perfect alibi for himself. Photographing the guests in front of a handless clock made to make for easy editing is quite an ingenious plan, it must be said.
Prosecutor, are you just going to let this slanderous yarn go uncontested? Say something! Object! Oh, you're pitifully useless.
After executing the murder, the Baron found himself still holding a single piece of incriminatory evidence, his finished cigar. He knew that leaving it at the crime scene would raise suspicion, but he didn't have time to properly dispose of it. So, out of desperation, he threw it into his fountain, out of the sight of his guests and any snooping police. I imagine the Baron was hoping to implicate Signor Berton de Mal, since that would ensure total control over his railway company. Alas, Dame Cataline was the first to happen upon the crime scene, so the Baron improvised.
This is an outrage! Judge, I demand that you disbar this ranting lunatic.
No, there's only one outrage here. That is, that a man like yourself is able to abuse his wealth and status to frame an innocent girl for murder. You're a bourgeoisie of the worst kind.
How dare you, garçon! The utter nerve for a lying scumbag of a lawyer to accuse a philanthropist like myself of something so heinous. I'm nothing like the fat cat bourgeoisie. I'm a respectable, hard-working capitalist. No, you're a ruthless man who would slaughter a dear friend just to reap a few francs. You incredulous whelp! I ought to gut you right here and now, like a damned frog. Could someone please restrain the Baron? I'm on it, Your Honor. Let's go, old man. To the concierge with you. Don't touch me, you filthy jackdaw. I can walk myself. That is quite a turn of events. Does the prosecution have anything to add? Well, in a manner of, speaking, well, to be honest, no. Then I shall now confer with the members of the jury to come to a decision. I ask that the animals of the court please be patient in this time. Falcon, that was pretty incredible. Thank you. I just hope it was enough. What do you mean? You just proved Cataline's innocence. We'll get a not guilty verdict for sure. Sparrowson, I think you've misunderstood something important about the justice system. What's that? I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It's just not possible. All we can do is organize the evidence and convincingly explain what it suggests. I haven't proven Dame Cataline's innocence. All I have done is demonstrate that there is a significant possibility that she is not guilty. I'm not sure that I understand the difference. We have reached a decision. In light of the recent revelations, it is clear that an error of judgment was made with the initial arrest. On that note, we unanimously find the defendant, Dame Cataline de Mao, to be not guilty. Not guilty. Monsieur Falcon, Petit Sparrowson, you did it. Yes, I suppose we did, didn't we? We should head back to the office so we can celebrate properly. You did it, Falcon. I can't take all the credit. This was a group achievement. I'm so proud of you both. I'll go get 1 bottle of wine and 3 of our least dirty glasses. You are amazing, Monsieur Falcon. Oh, it was nothing. I very much like the way you pinned the murder on that Baron. That was an act of sheer genius. Well, I didn't pin anything. Sparrowson and I just worked at unveiling the truth, given the facts of the case. Monsieur Falcon, there's no need to play coy. The case is over. Play coy? Don't tell me you're actually being sincere. I'm completely lost. Oh, wow. I thought the goody-goody thing was an act, but you actually don't know. Alright, I'll spell it out for you. I murdered Monsieur Grenoir. I saw him in the garden, all drunk and vulnerable, and I seized my opportunity. It was nothing personal, just business, you understand. Business? To increase my papa's share in the train company, of course. My papa always said that the drunk old frog was the weakest link. Your confession doesn't make any sense at all. I found Baron Morgui's cigar butt hidden in the garden. Oh, I put that there. I expected the police to find it, but I suppose that was putting too much faith in the brains of Paris's finest. But Falcon proved that Monsieur Robino's photograph was edited. It was edited. I wasn't in the picture because I was busy paying a visit to Monsieur Grenoir in the garden. My papa knew I needed an alibi, so he ordered Monsieur Robino to paint me over Baron Margois and to add hands to the clock. But that lazy artist didn't manage to finish altering either photograph by trial day. It's a good thing that Monsieur Falcon was so imaginative, because that could have gone very badly. What's with the silence? You should both be proud. There aren't many lawyers in the whole of France who could have won a case like this, even for a bourgeoisie kitty like me.
I think you should leave. Fine. So much for the celebrations. Here's the payment for your services, straight from my papa's pockets. 40 francs. Well, adieu, Monsieur Falcon. Adieu, Petite Sparrowson. Falcon, what do we do now? Falcon. End of Act 1.